spiritual awakening to inspire your personal enlightened journey. I'm your host, Megan Mary, international best-selling metaphysical author and founder of Inner Realms Publishing. Let's bring in the light. Welcome. Today we have Breanna Gray. She is a multidimensional channel, intuitive galactic energy healer, and a spiritual guide who helps others reconnect with their soul's wisdom. Through her unique blend of Reiki, galactic energy work, past life healing, light language, and channeled messages, Breanna supports clients in aligning with their highest path and releasing energetic blocks. She's known for her grounded yet cosmic approach, bridging ancient wisdom with modern insight, and often works with star beings, soul teams, and divine feminine energies. Welcome, Breanna.
Hi, thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you on the show because you're one of the many people that I follow on Instagram, and I'm regularly following your posts, and I'm just really interested in a lot of the things that you discuss in your
Mhm.
work, and I can't wait to bring that to the podcast and our audience. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the first question I have is the one I ask everyone at the beginning, and that is, what does enlightenment mean to you?
Ooh, I love that one. And I've been pondering that word a little bit, because to me, it's like this grand unveiling, okay? You're returning to an absolute truth and not just the truths that we believe and sort of pick up throughout our lives, but the absolute divine cosmic truth, right? The one that permeates everything. I say that so many times. There's always a bigger question. Like, there, can you zoom out even further? Is there even a larger question outside of that question? There's an unveiling of that total truth. And when you hear it too, when you reach those moments in your journey and you hear a truth and it resonates with your body, you feel it. Your cells come alive with that truth. They encode that truth again, right? They remember it. And it's like a whoo, like, oh my goodness, that's real. And so it's so beautiful when that happens. And so the process to getting to that is simply dissolving the illusions that are in between us and that truth, really, because that's all that's happened, are these stories and these limitations and these beliefs and this programming, and it's not just this lifetime, from lifetimes and lifetimes, and not only just that, but also the epigenetics of it, and like, you know, handing it down ancestrally, and like you could go on, right? So under all of that, though, that's where that truth is just waiting to be unveiled. So that's what it feels like to me, and it's so exciting when you turn into the energy of it. It is so incredibly exciting, expansive, and amazing. And you want to know, you want to remember. I
That's
don't
an
know.
incredible explanation. There was so much there. I don't even know if I can remember it all, but
I know.
it brought these images to me of this very bright light and this awakening and this bursting of cognition. And I also really like the part that you said that stuck out to me about the whole point is really just getting rid of everything that stands between us and the illusion. And that's really the theme of my second book is See Through the Illusion. So I really like that because it's
Amazing.
really about that all of awakening is and all of enlightenment is about remembering. It's not necessarily acquiring new knowledge. It's pulling
That's
back
it.
the veil of amnesia
Yeah.
where we have forgotten. We agreed to forget, but it seems like we are also challenged to remember.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
as much as we agree to forget, the more we can become schooled to remember, the more that we can help everyone that's here and our path here in that remembering.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
1,000%. The further we're into our truth, the more we can support, because we're radiating that truth for everyone else to experience too. Like it helps guide everywhere. You're a lighthouse. I always say that, right? We're a
Mm-hmm.
lighthouse. We're meant to be. Not that we're pulling anyone along. We're simply that beautiful light that they can come along, they can resonate with, they can work with, and yeah, it's great.
Yes, I love that analogy too. And I've had people say, "Thank you for sharing your light with us." And
Right?
it just struck me so profoundly because it was like, wow, that just makes me feel so much better that it's not, I don't have to worry about exactly how I'm saying things, exactly how I look, all these pretenses, right? Because it's more than that. It's your
Oh,
resonance, it's your presence, it's your vibration, it's your energy that is being transferred outside of verbal and physical cues, and people pick up on it. And even in this very technical, separated, sterile world of cell phones and social media, the lights stand out. And that's how I noticed you, because it was like, wow, when you see authenticity and when you feel someone's energy, you know what's contrived and what's not.
oh, absolutely. And people are getting even better at that, I find. Discernment is improving in a grand scale. So
Yeah.
authenticity is key.
Yeah, and we have to because there's so much falsity now. And not just with humans being false and fake, but with there being artificial fakeness, computer
Yeah.
technology trying to act like us and confusing us. And so we're being challenged to not rely on that
Yeah.
and to be able to tell the difference. A lot of healers and guides are using AI, and I understand that it's the wave of the future, but on the other hand, I feel like you don't need to do that because you already are the oracle. And why would you do that? And
Exactly.
eventually, all of that information is going to be in there, but that computer is not going to be energetically downloading stuff from the universe. I don't know. Maybe it is, but
Well,
you know,
no, you've hit the nail on the head. It's there. It's all in the way we use it and the intention behind it, right? And the energy. It's one thing to have it assist you in writing a friendly response to an email, for example. But
yeah,
when you're trying to use it to like get you to connect to quote unquote spirit, it's
yeah,
not going to give you a pure organic connection. It just won't.
right.
And it's not like it can go into your energy and heal you or anything like that. Now,
Hmm.
in other ways, you can use it in some instances to support certain things, like gaining more understanding around certain things, or explaining things, or
Sure.
using it as a tool to do research for you
Yeah, absolutely.
on right of information that already exists. But I wouldn't utilize it in any capacity in terms of like, trying to get it to a reading for you, or
Yeah,
trying to like,
divination, things like
right?
that. Hmm.
Because that's been happening a lot, and that is a
Right.
trend that so, and it's all
Yeah.
in, a lot can impact it. There's a lot of energies that can impact the responses you're getting. So you can't,
Hmm.
right? You need to be going within, not without. And that's
Exactly.
going without as it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and
So
I think it can be used in the way that a library is. Like, tell me all the
yes,
researchers in history who have done and what studies
thank
they
you.
have done, and
Yes,
all those sort of
you
things. But you're
got it.
not going to go to the library and
Mm,
expect the library to give you guidance on your
yeah, or
life
write
and
your essay for
tell
you,
you
or
what you're
right?
dreaming. And yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
1000%.
But aside
Agree.
from that conversation,
Yes.
you have so many things that you're working with, and those things don't come in instantaneously sometimes. So how did you end up being this multidimensional channel and intergalactic healer? Tell the audience a little bit about the path that led you to this
Yeah.
work.
So I've always been intuitive. It's always been there, but it really exploded for me when I had my first child. It was like, I guess one of those maybe dark night of the soul moments, kind of postpartum depression, and sort of climbing out of that was like, well, this grand unveiling. that occurred when so many things, you know, from healing from that gave me such a large understanding. And then it was like a huge, like domino effect for me. So it did happen relatively quickly in terms of, well, it was all, I went, and it was very much divinely supported. And I'll, because of how everything happened. So, throughout the process of healing and therapy and expanding my own awareness and consciousness and connecting with my own intuition and divination and all of that, it was like God and the universe kept sending me the right people at the right time, the right teachers, the right people I had been connected with in past lives who had the right words at the right time to unlock that next step for me and to help support me along the way, or I would learn something new or an awareness would come through. And so it just kept kind of snowballing. And so eventually yeah, as I was bracelets and going to markets, I started feeling confident enough to start pulling cards for people. And it just expanded so fast because I could feel it. The energy just rush through during every reading. It was amazing and I absolutely love it. And then going on to unlocking my light language and working with energy and, you know, just now it's, and then even then, yeah, working with other healers and meeting other healers and connecting with them, like my best friend Stephanie, who I absolutely adore. And oh my God, she's amazing. And like, it's just, we're so blessed when we look at the whole picture of it all and how guided and how supported we've been. It's gorgeous and it's beautiful. And so that's basically how it's all happened. I literally just follow the energy in everything we do, right? I just follow the energy and it just keeps expanding and growing and evolving. And I'm always doing new stuff because every session is unique and my gifts are constantly evolving as well. That's why it's so hard to like label it in any specific way. And I hate doing that too because I don't want to box myself in any way either. Like I know that my soul is remembering everything that it's capable of and it's capable of everything. So I simply just need to remember. If there's something I want to do, I set the intention and I start working towards it, and boom, it just unlocks and away we go. So everyone is capable of that. It's a matter of believing it and knowing it, like deeply knowing it. And when you start to experience and see like the magic in your life and really like, yes, like that person was sent to me at that exact right moment. That's so cool. And like looking at it and feeling the gratitude for it, it's it just it just adds more momentum to that experience for you in such a huge and profound way. So that's basically how it has evolved and continues to evolve. So sessions are always unique and I can do, like I say, a little bit of everything because it's a channeled experience. So I connect directly with source, with their team of the light, and it's always directly with the light and whatever's required for their ideal healing at that moment for their soul to support their journey and expansion. That's what we do. And it can be very potent in terms of an experience, right? And then you can do whatever you want to do with that afterwards. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. Yes, I understand how all of that happens because I've been
Right?
through it myself, and it does actually happen very fast. In fact, mine felt like a freight train just
Yeah.
speeding away, and I was holding on, flying behind it like I can't keep up with everything that you're sending me now. But it was all happened so fast, and there was so many different things that came online too. And like you said, there was also a lot of physical recognition with that, where it was like, whoa, this is beyond anything that I had experienced before, with a very much physical resonance of what was happening that became undeniable at that point.
Love it.
Yeah. And I also
Absolutely.
I also like the concept that you talked about where boxing yourself in, because it's hard in the world that we live in where people say, well, who are you and what do you do? And you have to
Yeah.
write a bio and you have to introduce yourself and you have to explain in English words what it is that you offer and what your gifts are, and it's better felt than explained. And there's a lot of it that you can't explain, and you have to be meeting up with that right person at that right time. Like you said, that person, when they find you, they usually don't need an explanation because they already know that you are there to help them through that particular thing. And that's why you're crossing paths at that time, which is nice because the efforting of explaining really takes the mystery out of it, right?
Well, totally. And yeah, and I experience that exact thing often, like at markets, it's psychic fairs that I do and all of that. It's the coolest meeting. Like that's why I love doing the in-person events because it's so cool to watch who you cross paths with. And it becomes again like sometimes a very pivotal moment for certain people. And it's like honestly a divine blessing that you get to be there for them too, right? Like it's so
Yes.
beautiful. So I
Yeah,
love
and
that.
the beauty is that that can happen online too, and
Oh yeah.
it's amazing. I just finished being at a 5-day conference on dreams, and all the events were virtual, but the different people that I ended up in different groups with was not a coincidence. And I was very surprised every time the outcome and the experience, and it was
Mhm.
profound. I didn't expect it to be
Absolutely.
that profound. So, I mean, I should have, but I
Oh,
just,
I'm
I didn't know what to expect, but it was so moving and such a deep experience because when people share their dreams, you see them, you drop the pretense
yes.
and you really see each other almost as spirits. You stop
Yeah.
looking at how you're perceiving them and the judgments you might have about them, and all of a sudden you're all in this quantum space.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how that happens.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yes, and so that's one of the things that I work with, but I've had a few other people on the show that do galactic channeling.
Mm.
And I'd love for you to speak a little bit more about that because I'm sure that everybody is a little different. So explain for those who don't know, or maybe this is their first episode, what that is, and then the different associations that you have, who it
Yeah.
is that you channel, and you're also welcome to do that as well or not. Totally up to you in your comfort zone and if you feel something coming through. But yes, please explore that with us for a moment.
Yeah. Fair enough. So channeling, everyone has the capacity for it because it's simply a matter of like connecting, right?
Mhm.
And it's like a radio station where you sort of tune into a specific frequency or whatever. The key with everything you do and anytime you bring any kind of information through at all, the key is how you feel within your body. Okay. When you're connecting to pure spirit, pure information, it is uplifting, it's exciting, it's a rush of energy, it is supportive, right? That you're going to feel positive, comfortable sensation in a sense within your body. Anytime it's anything other than that, then I would be aware of the information coming through because it's all about discernment. And so I find there's a lot of people channeling and it's awesome. But there's also a lot of energies that want to share their information or share their opinion so it's not so making sure we're connecting directly with pure spirit is the key. Often messages will come through from higher level beings, like for example, the blue avians who Pleiadians and Andromedans and Syrians and all of them. Now, the key again is to make sure that the information feels positive within your body and is supportive and uplifting and not to be disempowering in any capacity because we're not using it to look outside of ourselves for anything. It's a matter of exploration. That's sort of, you want to definitely do it with the right intentions. So that's kind of the key. And then as you're connecting, it's like this rush of energy. you shouldn't have to be in any kind of trance in order to channel something. The thing about the trance thing is sometimes you won't necessarily be as aware potentially of what energy you may be connecting with. So being conscious is the key. Energies can also utilize your ego against you when you're connecting with them. So being mindful of that, and if any kind of like energy kind of coming in and sort of really trying to lift up your ego in a very unnatural way, that's a red flag. So those types of things. For me, I'm only interested in connecting with pure spirit. And anything that deviates from that, it's kind of a waste of my energy and time, and for all of us, because it's not, sometimes the information can have some relevance, some truth, and it always will have just enough. But the most important thing is that it's empowering you. That's the key, right? You're everything. Like it's all in you. And if everyone just remembered that, like tune in within yourself, you can connect to any energy you desire. Like I have worked directly with the energies of ascended masters and do continue to. And it isn't difficult to connect with them. It's simply a matter of knowing that you're connecting directly with the right energy and that energy of the light. And yeah, I think that was the big two, the message that they just really wanted to hammer home for everyone as well, is that discernment. That discernment is so important because there is so much distraction and so much, I want to say, false light happening and occurring all around us right now. And so the key is to just be so grounded in yourself, grounded in your body, grounded in that beautiful energy that you want to expand. And so if anything feels off from that, you will know. You simply know. And you follow that feeling and trust it. Don't allow, just because it's, a popular channeler or they have a ton of followers, or everyone else is liking the video or anything like that. You always trust how you feel. That is all that matters. And it may resonate with some versus others, and that's okay too. It's all about your own personal truth. That's what you're going for. Your truth is going to differ from the next person's truth. So, whatever you are bringing through, ensure that it is resonating with your specific energy, your field. And that's that comfort feeling. That's really the key to it all, is feeling in that comfort. And as long as you're feeling that versus a discomfort, then you're on the right path, you're connecting to the correct energies, and so on. So yeah. Ooh, yeah, cool. That's a little one. That's a
There you
little
go.
one word.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you are enjoying my podcast and are intrigued by dreams and stories of spiritual awakening, I would like to personally invite you to explore my international best-selling metaphysical trilogy, Witches of Maple Hollow. Like a mystical fairy tale, these fall-themed mysteries weave cozy supernatural fantasy into enchanting tales of magic and self-discovery. Start with Book 1, The Dream Haunters. The Book Life Prize calls it packed to the brim with surprise portals, ancient traditions, and dream worlds. Then dive into the elusive nature of reality in the Dream Mirrors. And finally, unravel ancestral riddles beyond time and space in the Dream Dimensions. Get your exclusive signed copies today at meganmary.com. Stop by the store while you're there and grab your dream journals, cozy blankets, pillows, candles, and more. And don't forget, they also are available in audiobook. Come visit me in Maple Hollow. Straight from source. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's important, and it underscores the importance of listening to your intuition too, because you get a gut feeling, you get a feeling about certain people, certain situations, certain information, and it, it's easy to dismiss that. And it's easy to explain it away as, skepticism is different from fear, is different from denial.
Yeah,
And all of those things can shade how you are interpreting the information you're receiving.
sure.
And so I think that that's part of the muscle of discernment, which isn't a perfect attainment. It's just a continual process
Oh,
of
for sure.
that inner sensing, inner knowing.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
there's a lot of confusion out there right now in regards to galactic beings, galactic life. I think that we are probably closer than we've ever been to
Yeah.
that physical meeting.
Yeah.
And for those that have concerns about that or are curious, what would you say to that?
Oh, that like if anything, just be super pumped about what the future has in store for us. Like it's all exciting. We have this tendency to like look outside of ourselves, like, oh, aliens coming to save us or something like that. Like it's not even that. It's more like, hey, we're gonna reach a point in our evolution and our vibration is gonna be high enough to the point where we're gonna be able to witness these higher vibrational beings in our physical reality. It's not about them like, you know, swooping in or anything like that. It's no, we're reaching that point, guys. Like we're our vibration are collectively, like I use the spinning fan analogy and I'll explain that, right? So as like our vibration changes, we're able to see things differently. So as the blades of the fan spin faster and faster and faster, you can't see them anymore, right? But if you were moving at that same speed, it would be very easy to perceive them. And so that's where what's happening with our vibration and everything. So it's not even just aliens, it's fairies, it's dragons, it's elemental beings, it's the return of magic to the earth. It's like, it's an incredibly exciting thing. So for the galactic stuff and everything, there's nothing to fear, like zero fear, because it's all just so exciting. Focus on the excitement. Of course, they would want you to focus on fear. We got to be away, step away from the fear part and no, even nervousness. It's not that they're coming to save us, or that's the important thing is you not to be looking outside of yourself for anything in that capacity, but simply just to be open to the expansion of what humanity is, what is going to come from this, right? And what we get to experience, what even in our lifetime or our children's lifetime or maybe our grandchildren's lifetime or all of that. Like, it's going to be amazing what happens. Our technology and all of this is just expanding at a massive rate. And so it's actually super exciting. It's like, and I think if people just tune into that energy, like, turn the news off and, and don't worry so much about that.
Right.
What are we creating? Like, that's the key. And again, each person, right, in their own individual realities are creating in their moment. So if they're creating something to fear, then we need to be aware of that, right? Like creating something to be excited about. Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's very reassuring
Yeah.
to everybody out there that, there's a lot of fear mongering around this topic, and it's it's a positive message in that regard. The other thing I want to talk about before we run out
Mm.
of time is the Schumann resonance, because you use that a lot, and I really enjoy that concept of the cosmic weather, I call it, and really how that affects us. And I like to get the cosmic weather forecast, just like I like to get the climactic forecast. It's becoming very popular, and I'm really fascinated by each person's interpretation. So please speak a little bit about that too.
For sure. So the Schumann resonance, it's basically, well, they call it Earth's heartbeat, but it's basically the energies that are circulating within the ionosphere. Generally speaking, it rests between 7 and 8 hertz, which is the healing frequency. Like Reiki healers, for example, channel between 7 and 8 hertz. So it's the similar healing frequency. These are supportive energies. They are there for everyone to experience and utilize and integrate. On some level, a lot of that happens automatically. The key with all of it is to focus on you and your energy and to what comes up, because often these energies coming through are shaking things up within our cellular structure within and releasing density, right? So our cells hold every memory from every lifetime we've ever experienced. And so through that, right, all the trauma, all the memories, all of that is coming through and being released and healed and integrated and all of that as our more light is integrated within our system and our vibration rises. So that when we say we're experiencing ascension symptoms during large surges of energy, it's often due to the density that's actually coming up. The key is just to witness it, allow it. If you're going to cry and feel sad, and be present with that experience. Be fully in it as a human being, because that's how you release it. And you allow the light to enter and take up that space in its place. And your DNA continues to unlock even deeper, because the more you flow into it and work with the energy, the more you'll get out of it. It's all about how you decide to integrate that for yourself. And there's no like rules or timelines or pressure or anything like that. It's all very loving, very supportive. It's just, hey, it's here for you. We love you. If you'd like to use this energy, go for it. That's kind of the idea. And so it's fun to watch the charts and see how things are shifting in that energy and yeah, and get an idea of how it's impacting us on a grand scale. And so I'll get like a nudge, like, oh, I better check because I'm feeling something or whatever. And then I'll simply just tune in and I'll get an idea of, I'll see the chart and I'm like, okay. And then I'll tune in with the collective energy and get an idea of what's happening for everyone. And usually that's what I end up sharing is exactly what we're feeling come through and that channeled information and any kind of guidance they can utilize to actually more easily integrate it for themselves. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I find it so fascinating. And it's in many ways validating from a spiritual
sure.
perspective because we are spirits living in this human 3D existence and we are affected by the tides and the celestial occurrences
Yeah.
and the cosmic energies, but we don't give a lot of credence to those things, except that when we're aware of them, all of my books I write at Mercury retrograde because that has a profound effect on people. And I've gotten a lot of people who are not into anything classified as woo understanding, oh, is it retrograde, and that because they've
Totally.
validated the fact that every time it's true that those things happen. And so it's much like that, where you start to experience something, you're feeling, wow, I'm really feeling this way today. I don't know what is
Mhm.
going on. Is it just me? Is it hormones today? Am I getting sick? Is it something in my body? And then
Mhm.
you look at the cosmic weather forecast and you're like, oh, okay. And
Exactly.
it validates your experience. It helps explain and remind us that we are affected by all of the energies that are happening outside this little speck that is Earth in the galaxies of galaxies, and that all of those things affect us, and
Mhm.
that we're foolish to not acknowledge that effect, and that it can only
Absolutely.
help us to recognize that a lot of people have processes where they tailor their lifestyles around moon cycles, for example,
Mhm. Yeah.
and where they don't try and push themselves to work too hard at certain phases of the moon, or they capitalize
Mhm.
on the fact that this is a great time to make my affirmations. Even if you're not following a path where you're actually doing ritual magic or anything like that, you're still observing those
Yeah.
monthly changes and you're still mostly water. And just like the tides, you are ebbing and flowing with the cycles of the moon. And so beyond that is the cosmic weather.
Absolutely.
And so anybody who's likes to track their moon cycle, likes to track the astrological cycle likes to track the different celestial events like the eclipses or the different retrogrades that we have or the different solar storms that we have. I'm
Yeah.
very, very in tune with the different solar flares that we have and the CMEs and all these different things that
Mm.
happen in
Yeah.
astronomy and how those things affect us. It's another layer of
Absolutely.
education and awareness that we can add on. And I'm really happy to see it starting to become more mainstream.
Absolutely. Me too. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Cool. Cool.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing all of your path and your perspectives, which are
For sure.
very encouraging and uplifting in terms of all the things that we have to look forward to. And it's really seems a bit more like allowing than anything else. So
Yes.
I really appreciate you being here today and sharing that. And tell everybody where they can find you if they want to see more of you.
Yeah, I'm at Flowing Soul Circle on literally all platforms. So it's pretty easy to find me. I look like this on everything. And please do, let's connect. I'm literally here to empower people and help them remember. That's like, so that's all I desire to do. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Brianna. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you
This is
being here
awesome.
today.
Yeah. Thank you so much.